Welcome back to Home Hair Academy with me, Ray. I am a hairdresser, beautician, cosmetologist, and this series is designed to help you do some home hair coloring services yourself at home. Today we are talking about bleach for your hair, but not this kind of bleach. All right, so as you know, I definitely always suggest if you can go see a professional to get your hair colored or bleached or highlighted, definitely do that. But you're watching this video, so that means you're doing research, trying to do the best you can at home. So I'm here to help guide you to make the best choices we possibly can about application, developer, and all of that. So let's get started talking about all over bleach application. And this video is going to give you some tips on how to apply and how to make it more even, and also some developer choices. When you are applying bleach all over your head, here are some tips. Number one, you want to get that bleach on as fast as possible, but also you want to be thorough. Make sure you are fully saturating the hair. You want it to be like pretty wet with the product. And on that same note is once your bleach dries up, it's kind of stopped working. So once it is on your head and fully saturated, if it feels like some of it's dry, you can either like apply a little bit more or like spritz it with a water bottle. You're gonna wanna put a cap on your head. I've seen it done with Walmart bags, saran wrap. You just want something to like lock in the moisture. It will also help lock in the heat coming from your scalp. Talking about heat from your scalp, what's gonna happen is if you're applying from root to end, your roots are gonna lift faster than everything else. And that is because they are the closest to your scalp and that heat is busting through. Another reason, if you don't already have virgin hair, which most of us don't, but if your hair is, if you've got some like color on the ends, so the color takes a little bit like more power most of the time to like pull up than your natural homegrown roots. So typically for me, this isn't a problem. The roots lifting faster than the ends because I can get it on pretty quickly, but I'm a professional. So we've got some options for you not professionals at home. You can use a lower developer on your roots so that you've got like maybe like a 5 volume here, and then you do like 10 volume the rest of the way. You can apply color to your ends and then your roots. And so that can either be like, you know, about here is where, if we're like all natural, right? Like about here is where it's not going to be lifting as quickly. So from here to here, you've got like about the same color. You could apply this part all over and then go back and apply your roots. I will say this method can be harder to apply that way and a little messier. So for me, I just feel, I don't know that that's the easiest option, but it is an option. You choose whatever method works best for you. The third option is to correct the overlifting portion of your roots when you go to tone it, because 9.5 out of 10 times you're gonna need to tone your hair, unless you're just wanting to lift up to a yellowy color. And it's not safe to try to lift your hair beyond a pale yellow. So just remember that. And if you're trying to get that platinum blonde, don't try to lift it to that color with bleach. And also there's just no reason, because toners are designed to do that. I have a video talking about the color wheel, and I'll go into more toning in depth during this bleach series. But just remember your color wheel: orange and blue, red and green, purple, yellow. So you want to cancel those things out and be honest with yourself when you're looking at whatever color it lifts up to, about what color you're actually seeing. So that was the third option, is to correct with toning. So let's talk about how to choose your developer. We've got volumes 5, 10, 20, 30, 40. And they do make 100 volumes, but that's a whole nother story. So just don't even worry about that, like really ever. So 5 through 40 is what we're working with. So 5 volume, I think works well for people not wanting a ton of lift, but you can actually get more lift than you would think with a 5. And I will put a clip up where I colored this mannequin and I did 5 volume in her bangs. And I let the 5 volume sit for about an hour and 45 minutes. 10 volume. Ten volume was, let's look at my notes. 10 volume was an hour, hour and a half. 20. Twenty was an hour and 10 minutes. 30. Thirty was 55 minutes. 40. $45 for the 40 volume. Now keep in mind, mannequins, they don't have heat coming from their scalp, and so it didn't warm up. It also didn't get as bright as like regular folk hair, and mannequin hair is treated. All that to say, you'll notice that it all lifted the same. So you can get a ton of lift with bleach and a low volume. The thing is, you just have to let it sit longer. And I would say for most people, like an hour and a half with a low volume is totally fine. Definitely, I mean, proceed with caution. I would also encourage you to do like a little test strand, maybe like bottom back. So if anything wonky happens, you know, it's up underneath. But you can do a test strand and see how it does with a lower developer, and if it works, and whether you're using like regular color too, it's always a good idea to test it out first. So if you've got pretty healthy hair, hour and a half is totally fine, in my opinion, to let it sit. When you're deciding what developer you need, I would just kind of take into consideration your like texture, porosity, elasticity, and just like overall health of your hair. If you feel like you've got pretty healthy hair and it's not already been bleached, it's not already been ruined, maybe you can use a higher volume without having to like worry about messing it up. But also, if you don't have a bunch of other stuff on your hair, it's probably gonna lift well with a lower volume. So all in all, my suggestion is whenever you can, try to use a lower volume and just let it sit a little bit longer. So what happens is it just like gradually pulls up, whereas when you use like a higher volume, it's kind of like, it's like more power on the front end and it'll lift like up a little bit faster. But I also feel like with those higher volumes, you like lifts less the longer you leave it, if that makes any sense, and kind of can get stuck in some weird spots. And you can do more than one round of bleach at a time. If your hair's still feeling good and you need to lift it a little bit more, you can do that. I would encourage you to take breaks in between, just because I am like that overly cautious, proceed always with caution kind of gal, because we want our hair to stay attached to our head and be a pretty color and not like fried. So yeah, proceed with caution, and when you can, use a lower volume. All right, I hope this information has been helpful to y'all. Let me know what other questions you have for me in the comments below and how I can help to guide you better in your home coloring and home bleach journey. All right, so I am gonna be talking more about toning soon, and I'll be covering like highlights, and I might, maybe, do a couple highlights on my own head so you can see that. We'll see. Stay tuned to find out. But I will definitely have a video up like next week on how to apply your root color with a brush and a bowl. I've already posted one on how to do it with a bottle, but the brush and bowl will give you an idea of how you would do that, like holding your hands and whatnot, for when you do your all over bleach application. So yeah, let me know what kind of other stuff you want to see so that I can queue up that content so that I'm making it for you. And I appreciate you watching my videos. If you have found value in this, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, help me out. It helps me to grow my channel, and subscribe. And I will see your beautiful faces next time. It's the Real Ray. Bye.